So, next up we have Exec Harmonious with lyrics from the Artonelico soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, one of them paid subscription things, support the channel even further with that. Not at your own expense, though. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track ever. So I will be pausing a lot, as I will be pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take, so whatever happens, happens. Chat hands. All right, with that said, let's do this. Exec Harmonious. Let's go. Okay, so this, we have two things going on. Number one, this is a song. As I've explained before, the difference between a song and a piece or track is that a track is usually instrumental entirely, and a song has lyrics, and the singing of the lyrics and the text is the focal point of what is happening. So we colloquially use song to refer to all of them, which, by the way, colloquial is just that is either that there's no academic term for it, we're not using it, or is the commonly understood term. So in this case, we are having a song being done a cappella. A cappella, which used to mean in the chapel, is basically just singing, only voices, which is one of the more difficult things to achieve when you're doing this. We're having two layers of singing, giving us our motif. The motif, of course, being the smallest version of our musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And in this case, we're probably going to add more layers to this, because usually when it comes to a chorus, you're going to have the SATB B format, which stands for soprano, alto, tenor, bass, which is the more common vocal ranges. Soprano is the high end of women's vocals, alto is the low end of women's vocals, tenor is the high range of men's vocals, which is still lower than alto, and bass is the low end for men's vocals. There are a couple of other ones that exist there, but this is already like 90% of people out there. So, with that being said, right now I think we're having the sopranos and the altos doing the thing, or she does all the vocals. So yes, we're having the singer doing her thing. Let's see what we got here. Then a controller can happen, yes. Oh, beautiful counterpoint. So what we had there just now is a very lovely type of counterpoint, species. Counterpoint. Counterpoint being the study of melodies, how melodies are, how they interact with each other, how they develop. Usually used for when you have two or more independent melodies interacting with each other and working together. So species counterpoint is the study of the relationship between notes, the specific notes. For example, 1-to-1 species counterpoint means for every note being played or sung by melody A, melody B is going to sing or play one note. 1-to-1, both at the same time. Then you have species 2-to-1. For every note that melody A sings or plays, melody B is going to play 2. And it just goes up from there, right? Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as much as you want. And it gives you this really beautiful way. Like species counterpoint, once you go beyond the 1-to-1, you end up in what is called similar motion most of the time. When it comes to counterpoint, you have 3 types of motion: similar, parallel motion, and contrary motion. So, similar motion, let's start with parallel. Parallel just means, it's parallel. Both melodies are doing the exact same movement. In general, the melodies are going the same way. Contrary motion, it means that one melody is going one way and the other melody is going the other way. Similar motion means they are overall keeping more or less the same shape, but they are engaging in combinations of parallel and contrary motion in general. Usually it means that there's one holding the note and then the other one is going off on species counterpoint, which ends up being, that relative number. It's a beautiful way of developing melodies, really difficult when you engage in vocals because of how lyrics works. So let's see where this goes. And it sounds like we have another... Yeah, we have the alto part, like the bass, a more bassy sound. I really like how the altos are giving us a beat. Like this is chorale music. This is chorale music. We are using a women's chorus. Even though it's just one vocalist, this is just absolutely beautiful. I am horrible with chorales. Like I can't for the life of me compose one of these. These are so difficult to make for me. And it's because of just all the limitations of the human voice. And this is just so beautifully done, dude. This is so beautifully done already, because we are having so many types of counterpoint going at the same time, and yeah, no, this is beautiful. This is live Q, and we already had the giveaway tonight. Yeah, we already had it. All right, let's see where it goes. But this is a full stream, so we still have songs left. And something even more about this is that this has a lot of elements of a fugue. Because chorale music, the reason why chorale music is so difficult is because you have to engage in a lot of counterpoint. There are a lot of restrictions that you have with this kind of thing, and you have to include a lot of elements of a fugue. A fugue is something that was invented by J.S. Bach, and in history, he's been the best at it. It's basically a way of exploring motifs, usually in a keyboard. And it's doing, 2-part, 3-part, 4-part, 5-part. Like, Bach was so good at it, he could improvise 6-part fugues, which means there were 6 melodies, independent from one another, being played at the same time by one man and composed in such a way that they would make incredible music, extremely complicated academically speaking, and it's just... And those elements of a fugue are being used here to keep that melody going. As you can tell how some of the voices are blending together and then coming apart and just having this very almost like a pulse of itself, like it's breathing. It gives the music life in a very, very unique way that only vocal music, chorale music, a cappella music can give, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, we're taking the motif and we're developing it. We're moving it around the voices, except for the bass. The bass is giving us like the one bum bum bum. It's just giving us a very steady beat, which is giving us a sense of rhythm as well, which is tricky to do in a chorale piece. So let's see. A song, according to the website, a song can have roughly 200 separate vocal tracks recorded for it, and a lot of it is going to be layering. Like you're gonna in order to make it sound like a chorale, you might have to record the same vocal line 5 or 6 times, because there's a very big difference between copy pasting the same vocal sounds and re-recording the same thing, because we as human beings, we are flawed in that way. We can't one-to-one reproduce the same music over and over again unless it's recorded. And it's very evident if you ever layer vocals in a DAW, in a recording software, you will see that singing the vocal line over and over again manually is going to sound like different people. it's going to sound like actually a crowd, as opposed to just copy pasting the same track over and over. So yes, I can believe this would have like, I can believe her doing 3 or 4 of each of the layers here, totaling in this case a good 15 or 20 layers of music in this so far. Because that's a trick that you do, because I've done it as well, where you want to make it sound like there's a crowd, but you're one person, so you just layer a bunch of vocals together, and you just make the crowd by yourself, and that's it. So, let's see. No, Thomas, I told you the next one. The next one. Because this is giveaway. Is that, okay, good. And very subtly, I have never seen something like this. Somehow, we put an organ in, doubling everything, but the vocals are so pristinely done that I am having difficulty hearing the organ. So, when it comes to a doubling is something you do in instrumentation, orchestration, and in this case, considering the fugal-esque nature of this, yes, you're going to have the organ pretty much playing the same thing between the different parts, right? And usually, again, instrumentation, orchestration, you want the right sound for the right reason, not just the right texture, but also the right psychological response. A church organ, a pipe organ, that is going to elicit the response of greater than me. Because, let's say a piano, usually a piano, it represents an individual, because usually there's one person playing the piano. Usually, like, you can have more than one person, but whatever, right? And you can fit a piano, even a grand piano, you can fit in most houses or apartments out there. Most. But an organ, a pipe organ, you have to design and build entire cathedrals, churches, symphony halls, concert halls around these instruments, which is a massive undertaking of engineering and construction and maintenance. It's an extremely difficult instrument to even build. So that is going to give you that psychological thing that this instrument, there has been more time spent maintaining this instrument than probably the last 3 generations of my family have lived. That kind of thing, right? So it gives you that sense of so far up above you that it's difficult that it becomes difficult to understand. And I call it the overwhelming hierarchy because of that. And yeah, we are having the organ and the vocals, this could be just a trick with the volumes, but the vocals and the organ are playing so well together because they're playing the same thing. Like, the organ is playing the same thing that the vocalists are, but the vocals are just in such a way that the organ kind of gets blended in with the chorus. I had trouble. I couldn't notice it the first time. Like, the first time I knew something had changed, I just couldn't tell it was a pipe organ because of how well everything blended together. This is insane, man. And yeah, we are continuing roughly the same things. We're continuing roughly using the same motifs, and we're just creating, we're just weaving this very beautiful tapestry of music, and now we're putting an organ with this, and this is, let's see. Okay, so now we've come to the second part. Oh my god, this is awesome. So, We bring in, now we can hear the organ. Now we can hear the whole thing. We bring in some cymbals. We're adding more. We have completely changed the vibe. We've sped up, and now instead of having the beautiful tapestry-esque counterpoint, now the chorus is together. The entrance, this organ, that was such a good way of, because the organ was there. So us hearing the organ coming in, now taking the front stage, it was so smooth, man. A true boss battle music coming in. This sounds like boss battle music, yeah. And yeah, no requests right now. Speed up. And now we're messing around with the rhythm. Thank you for hanging out, of course. So now every repetition we are complicating the rhythm ever so slightly, but everybody is doing what is called a tutti. Tutti just means everyone. Everyone is playing, singing the same thing, just in their own instrument. The chorus, the cymbals, the organ, everybody is doing the same thing musically, and it's just giving it this sense of just unity. And the chorus, of course, a way to increase drama is we are slowly opening up how far each note goes. So the lowest note, this is called closed versus open chords, right? So a closed chord, let me go into the concept of a scale, right? So a scale is the notes that we use harmonically. Usually it's 7 notes out of the chromatic scale. You pick them and you make them. So for the sake of simplicity, let's just say our scale is numbers 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then when we repeat back, that is called an octave. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's do, screw it, one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you make chords is you picking the just combinations of notes. So usually even they're called triads. You use thirds, which is basically you just skip, right? So if we have a chord using notes 1, 3, and 5, then we have a chord. And in this case, to have a closed chord, all the notes in your chord need to be within the same octave. So an octave is going to be the space between 1 and 1. And in this case, 1, 3, and 5 are within that space. Therefore, it's a closed chord. And a good way of adding drama without having to sacrifice too much is by making an open chord. And an open chord just means it's the opposite. There, the notes exceed the range of a single octave. So we can still have 1 and 3 and 5 up here. And now because the range is greater than 1 octave, now we have an open chord. And that is exactly what is happening, with the chorus. We are slowly opening up the chord, and it's filling more and more of the ranges available. And it is very, very, very cool because you can feel it. You can feel it because when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you are resolving that tension. That point in between we call cadence. And how are we building this tension? We are repeating the same rhythms. We're just, every repetition we add a little bit of extra thing. Everybody's playing the same thing. So how do we add tension? We open the chord more and more and more and more and more until we're going to reach the point of absolute tension that is going to lead to the cadence. So let's just see where this goes. This is really cool, man. Okay, and now we're going away from the tutti in favor for some... we're moving away from the tutti to go into rhythmic counterpoint. Same concept as counterpoint, but instead of it being multiple melodies, it's multiple rhythms. Because once again, this is syllabic singing. So all three is just brought up, right? Syllabic singing. Wrong one here. Syllabic singing So when you sing, most singing, I would say 99% of singing falls under one or two categories: syllabic and melismatic. So syllabic singing means one note per syllable. Melismatic is more than one note per syllable, and it's entirely depending on your lyrics. So syllabic singing is what is happening right now. They are hitting one note every single time there is a syllable. Melismatic is what was happening at the start, where some of them were holding those vowels out and continuing the melody and weaving those through. That is melismatic singing. And yes, it looks like the cymbals are giving that rhythmic counterpoint. And again, rhythmic counterpoint, that's just rhythm. That's just rhythm. I'm just saying rhythmic counterpoint to give you like the idea of we're having multiple rhythms happening at the same time. It's not necessarily a polyrhythm. Because polyrhythms is usually a more complex idea. We're just adding more drama. We're just adding more tension here. So let's see what we got. Let me refill my water bottle. And there we go. It's starting to break down. We brought it a little bit down, and we're bringing it back up. Oh, beautiful. And the tension, the cadence. There we go, and we are, oh my god. Oh, what a way to resolve the cadence. What a resolution. So, as you heard, we were building towards that absolute bombastic high note, but they did one of the most powerful things you can do when resolving a cadence. This is, Whenever I talk about this, I love it. Because this is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful ways of conducting a cadence. Because you heard how the cymbals, the organ was building up. And we could have gone bombastic, super loud, resolving, like breaking through, and just completely bringing this beautiful, grandiose chord. But instead, we took the scale down. We quieted down. And we brought in the chimes and just very softly gave us that high note. And that whiplash right there, in theory shouldn't work, but it's so powerful that it's just absolutely beautiful. Mr. Divas, welcome today. How you doing? Let's hear it. And now we go back to melismatic singing. With some of them doing syllabic. We're doing a combination of both. A ceiling with some woodwinds. There's the organ again. While we are starting to bring back some of the previous themes. Oh, dude. Oh. Oh my god. And there you go. We are building this incredible tension. We're breaking it through. We bring in the timpani. What a build up, dude. Like, I just had to take a moment to just soak that in. Dusty, welcome today. How you doing? That was beautiful. Man, I need to play this game. So we are having this just absolute moment of bringing back some of the rhythms from before. We're bringing some of the rhythms from before, and no, don't request just yet. We're bringing in some of the rhythms we already used, but now instead of this being these loud, really big chords, now it's in a smaller scale, and we're just pushing it through more delicately, and now we're starting to break it through. And we brought the timpani, right? So timpani, one of my favorite instruments, my favorite percussion. It's one of the more trickier instruments to use, but these big boys they are one of the very few pitched drums that they can actually play notes. And it's so beautiful. It can be an insanely powerful instrument. The tricky part is that you are limited to like maybe 2 or 4 notes at a time, and depending on the budget of your orchestra. But oh my god, if you know how to use them right, you can make things real powerful. So let's see where this goes. And it's breaking down. The organ is starting to get more presence. So yeah, on principle, we are revisiting some of the material we've seen before. It's just that now we're doing it in this format instead of the previous one. We've sped things up, and we're applying the whole opening the chords thing again. Man, this is wild. Oh, what a moment of suspense. And it starts breaking down a little bit. And again. And once again, we have this moment where the cadence is bringing us and we bring it back down. And we introduce a new variation of our motif. And we are just, oh my god, this is insane, dude. Let's see where it goes. This is insane. And now we have a more defined motif. And immediately. And now we are introducing drums that are giving us a more tribal-esque sound, I would say. Giving it a very different sense of pace to what we were doing before. And it's just building. It's building in such an insane way, man. This is awesome. So yeah, now we are focusing more on the higher end of the vocals. We are letting this like more... It's not really a flying melody, I would say. I don't think it is, but it's just so beautiful. Diddy, welcome to the mosh pit. Thank you for the follow. It's just... Yeah, we're just on the higher end, and this is a really cool thing that they're doing. Because now the space between the drums, the lower end of the drums, and the higher end of the vocals, that void speaks volumes, because we've been having that middle range to low range always filled up. There was always something happening there, and now it's not there. And that absence, that silence, is very loud. So let's see. Welcome back, Nate. Oh, the chimes. We slow things down again. Thank you, Diddy. I appreciate it. Oh my god. And again, we slowed things down, and now we're doing a second version of this, louder, with more range, more open chords. We bring in the percussion, we bring in the organ properly, and what a bombastic way of revisiting the material we just did. This is insane, dude. Oh, the cymbals, dude. And we're bringing this again. We slow down. And now we are bringing... we are bringing all of these motifs that we've been using throughout, and we're now just holding things. We're engaging in species counterpoint again, but now we have the drums and the organ. Oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful, dude. How are you gonna end this, though? We slow it down. One last go of the melody, one last chord, and we call it there. Oh my god, dude, what a trip. What a trip that was. Incredible. incredible. There you go. That was Exec Harmonious from the Artonelico soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this in the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, one of them paid subscription, support the channel even further with that. And of course, if you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 5 seconds, I will be linking it down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the stream, if you're on the stream, do not request yet. And if you're not on the stream, make sure you go to the Discord server, link down below, and go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned messages. And if you want to catch the streams when they go live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European time. If you want to know what that time is in your local time zone, link down below is the Discord and the Twitch. They both have the full stream in your local time zone. And catch the gaming channel. So follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel where we put the VODs of the games we've been playing. Games are Basterd, link down below. Or you can search for same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. Exec Harmonious from the Artonelico soundtrack. What a trip that was, man. What a trip. That was awesome. But yeah, let's move on.